Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Whoop whoop. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have one of our favorites, Justin Martindale. Welcome back to Juicy Scoop.
Oh, good morning, Mother.
It has just continued to be a cold weekend, and I was telling you that I was preparing for the storm of the century. And I also want to say to people that, think the world is ending, and I don't disagree, okay? However, I've lived here my whole life. I bought the house next door to my parents. It has snowed twice before. I have photos from the 80s of my old house with a little bit of snow on the grass in our front yard. So I know people are freaked out by it, but it does happen, and it doesn't necessarily mean the aliens are coming, but I do believe they're coming.
I did text you when it was snowing. I said Erica Jane was right.
She's loving it. She definitely has had a fun weekend, appreciating that. Yes. I don't know if it's snowing in Pasadena, but I think Mount Baldy, which is pretty close. And, it happened. It was freaking cold. It's still cold. And
it's raining again today.
And I ended up not doing anything, preparing for the storm. And then by the third day of wearing pajamas and watching bad TV, I was like, you know what, Heather, so we went out last night, Peter and I, brought Mackenzie. Peter's all excited to go to this Michelin star sushi place.
Oh.
And when I called, they said, okay, how many people? I'm like, 3 or whatever. And they're like, okay, it's a set menu. It's $100 minimum a person or something. And I go, okay, whatever. So we sit down, 5:30, because I figured the guys would be cooking. It's a big deal, right? But I also thought $100 each of just sushi is expensive, but it's special occasion, whatever. So we go there, and there's only one other couple there, and it's in a little shopping square in Encino. And the guy is really mean that Mackenzie's not there. He's like, and he's hard to understand, because he's not American born. And he has a mask on. And so I was like, I'm sorry, she's my daughter. I'm sorry that she's not. He's like, I prepare all the stuff. We're starting now. And I go, okay, well, we can just start then. That's her fault.
What was the special occasion?
No, there really wasn't a special occasion.
Okay.
I just thought, well, it's nice
that
I just like that we were having dinner with Mackenzie, who's my daughter. So anyway, so the food was amazing. Each new little fish had a long story about why this fish is so good, and on the rice, and just melts in your mouth. And okay. And we had a couple glasses of wine each. It was so expensive. Peter's like, I go, I guess if we would have said, hey, we don't want this set menu, but they didn't really give us a choice. And I had that $100 in my mind. So I thought the set menu was $100, not counting alcohol. And at one point, I'm like, wow, I'm getting kind of full, but, want to eat everything. And I was thinking, God, this is pretty cheap for just $100. All this. Anyway, this is one of those expensive things. You've probably heard about it, where you go to the sushi place and the guy just gives you any weird thing he wants. But it wasn't very weird. I was like, okay, well, after you told me the price, I was like, okay, yeah, don't need to do this again.
You thought it was $100 per person?
Yes.
It's the minimum. And then he was just kind of,
he didn't give us a choice to be like, hey, we don't want that. We just, can I see a menu? They didn't give us the menu. They only gave us the drinking menu, which was just sake and wine and beer. And, so yeah, I just was like, okay, let's experience this. I've heard about it. And, but yeah, I'm like, for the price, no, I don't need to do this again.
How much was it?
For the 3 of us?
For the 3 of you.
It was over $800.
Wow! Wow! For raw fish and rice.
I know.
What was the weirdest thing you had?
Their starter was so I wasn't into some of these little squares of, I don't know, tofu thing.
Yeah.
But all the fishes were great. There was only one thing I was like, not feeling that. But out of the 10 other things, ate every bite. And I was like, wait, so the mango sorbet wasn't included? And he's like, no, that was also
the
like,
outrage.
that was all. I'm like, I could have lived without that.
Yeah.
Again, they made it seem like you have a choice.
Uh-huh.
Mango sorbet, lychee sorbet. I'm like, oh my God. So
it sounds like the Saw movies. You have a choice, Heather McDonald. Will you have the sushi in front of you
I
or
just
the
am
mango
glad
sorbet?
that Peter had picked it out and everything because,
Uh-huh.
yeah, exactly. You have a choice.
You have a choice, Heather McDonald.
Okay, let's get into the
some
fun.
juice. Ah.
I didn't really watch the SAG Awards, but let's talk about some scoop on the SAG Awards.
Yes.
Speaking of SAG, I don't believe that Aubrey Plaza's boobs were saggy at all.
Wait,
They're
is
nice
that the
and they're
thing?
little. So they saw her when they won the award for Best Cast
Mhm.
that she seemed to be like saying things or being pissed, like being annoyed. So they've since analyzed it, and she's wearing this like top that looks like, 2 ace bandages going across your tits, and of course featuring the hottest look of the year,
the only
under
trend.
tit, the under tit,
Yeah.
under tit. And I guess somebody, when she got up there, said your tit had fallen out. And that's why she was like, oh God, and like annoyed she was covering it. But this thing from, we looked it up, Aubrey Plaza SAG video, and it comes up, Aubrey Plaza popping out of her massive saggy tits. First of all, they're not saggy.
No.
And they're not massive.
Right.
They're tiny. The outfit, it's not my favorite look, but she has the body to pull it off. But it popped out. I mean, what do you want? It popped out.
But also that article was from sex.com. Of course, they're like, yeah, you got them big, saggy tits.
Jessica Chastain fell. She pulled a J.
A J-Law.
Yeah. Which is always good to do.
And where was this? It was on YouTube or something?
Yeah, like wasn't even on TV. Nobody cares.
I just saw like a couple of the highlights. But like, I think what I saw from this before was that, yeah, her, what is it? The strap was coming up off her boob, and then someone like grabbed her, and she just kind of got pushed to the back a little bit, and she was just kind of like,
what the fuck is happening?
Why am I up here?
Right.
So, and I just love her. And she won,
really
right?
good.
I think she won for something.
Did she win for something
I think
else?
she did.
I'm so out of this whole thing.
This award season is exhausting to me and so predictable. Like, I'm really happy for the cast of Everything Everywhere All at Once. I haven't even watched it either.
What is it about?
It's about like the multiverse. Like, it's like,
what do you mean the multiverse?
Heather, where have you been? It's the multiverse. It's like, where would Heather McDonald be in an alternate universe? It's like, you're here now at Juicy Scoop, but like in another
kind of juicy,
another realm, you would be. I don't know, what would you be in a different world?
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it.
The thing
because she won here.
She won, but the and I'm happy for Michelle Yeoh and all of the cast and everything. But did you see her dress, Michelle Yeoh's dress?
No.
It was like crinkle fries. And when she got up there to accept her award, the crinkle fries just kept hitting.
What do you mean crinkle fries?
She
Real
had like
fries?
it was like hay or something, and when she won, it was just scratching the mic, and that's all I could think of was just this nightmare ASMR happening.
Well, Jamie Lee Curtis got up there, and I think she had a good speech.
She had a great speech. She
said, I love actors. I love acting. I love the job we get to do. I love being part of a crew. I love being part of a cast. I love what we do with each other. It's such a beautiful job. And I know that so many people in our industry who are actors who don't get to do this job, and you look at nights like this and think, is that ever possible for me? And I know you look at me and think, well, Nepo baby, that's why she's there. And I totally get it. But the truth of the matter is I'm 64 years old, and this is just amazing. So I think that was good with the Nepo baby conversation, that she like acknowledged it about herself. But then at the same time, she's like, hi, I have a huge body of work that's been started since I was like 17. So, yes, that's what I always say. The Nepo babies get their start, but they wouldn't keep getting hired if they sucked. So,
yeah, and she did.
Good for her. But her art is still weird on her wall. So.
But she did the God.
Still weird. I don't care. And I still found her to be like very annoying on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But that's not her fault.
No,
they asked her to be on it. So.
She was chic. It was very chic.
Yeah.
She had a very chic experience. But she did the intro with the SAG Awards. Did you see, when they're like, hi.
Yeah.
When I started out, and she did the she said she was on a show with her dad, Tony Curtis, and she got fired from the show which I did not know.
Okay.
And then she was like, had I not been fired, I would not have gone on to audition for this little low budget movie called Halloween. So I like that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
those kind of stories are
But
good. Yeah.
How far are we away from Jamie Lee Curtis and Michelle Yeoh boning it down officially? There is a love there. Every interview they do,
Well-
she's like, because of Michelle Yeoh, I am here. And she kissed her during the SAG Awards. I'm not mad at it. I'm kind of here for it. But there is like, I feel like there's some sexual
She
tension.
talked about how she tracked down and scored her husband, Christopher Guest, who did all the Best in Shows and
Oh,
stuff.
so good.
How she saw him somewhere and she said to a friend, I'm going to marry that man. And then so she called up her agent and she said, set it up and everything. And everyone's like, what? And all the comments were like, what an amazing story. They're like, what an amazing story. You called up your agent and you set up a date. Like, it's not that, like, yeah, you went for what you wanted. But listen,
Nepo baby privilege.
there are certain people in this world that appear to live a heterosexual life. And it's really, truly a shame. And I think she's one of them. And I'm not outing her or saying, I'm just saying there's certain people that you're like, damn, I think she should be on a different team. And I just think it's a shame. So anyway, she's one of them. I have more in today's shows. I have more people I'm going to say that it's a shame about.
Well, I mean, I feel like we are due for like a 64-year-old like fluid woman. Like if she just comes out and she's like, yeah, I'll do whatever.
Well, the rumor is
Yes.
The rumor is that she was born as a hermaphrodite. That's an old rumor.
Oh, yeah, that's an old
She
rumor.
did. No one knows what is true or not. If that's like up there with the Richard Gere rumor of
the hamster,
of a
or
hamster
whatever.
going up his butt.
Sorry, gerbil.
Gerbil going up his butt for fun. And then I know the person at the ER that pulled it out in that whole story. So she did adopt kids. So she never gave birth. So that would maybe go along with it. She does have very narrow hips. Anyway, who knows and who cares?
Huge
then
nuts,
she has
too.
2 kids. So the 2 kids that she has, one is non-binary fluid, and that's the one who got married in the backyard doing cosplay.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she's ripe for whatever.
Go for
and I
it.
think she could still stay married to Christopher Guest and do whatever. Pull a Bronwyn from Real Housewives of OC, who just married her 8th girlfriend since she broke up with her husband in the last 2 years, and they've been together for 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all for everyone just being gay and happy. Okay.
Yeah, she can be everything, anything, all at once.
Perfect. Now this was from Page 6.
Mhm.
So Marky Walhberg, Marky Mark, he presented, let me see, he was presenting for the award for the Asian cast of, predominantly Asian cast, Everything Everywhere. And the Twitter world reminded us that I was not aware that when he was 16, before he was a star, he was arrested for attacking a Vietnamese man.
Oh.
And arrested for it and with some people. But he, then people were going back and forth saying it was 35 years ago. He said he was sorry. He met with the man. He's the spokesperson for a Catholic app. Everyone sent me this Catholic app.
What's
by
the Catholic app called?
It's an app you have to pay for.
Oh.
And it's like a prayer app for Lent.
Oh.
And anyway, they didn't ask me. So
That's just rude.
but anyway, so he's super Catholic and that's all good. But other people are saying maybe it is good that he's presenting this award to the predominantly Asian cast because he has this history and he's clearly sorry for it and whatever. But God, nobody forgets.
I
so
mean,
it was like, what
seriously.
was this an oversight by the Academy? Or was it actually on purpose, or did he ask for it? I think it was an oversight. I don't think people remember this from 35 years ago.
I don't think they do either. And also he was 16 years old. You mean a 16-year-old was an asshole?
And also,
what?
and that 35 years later, being a father and a married father and everything, that you can't do. So we don't want anyone to grow up. We don't want anyone to.
It's never good enough.
No one is able to be forgiven.
No.
Nothing.
No growth.
So then, what is the point?
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe it was like a chance for him to be like, hey, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Because I've grown, I'm matured now, I'm I'm learning from my past, but
My opinion is nobody thought of it, including himself.
I don't think
Someone
they
at
did.
home that has great Juicy Scoop history knowledge made this happen.
Yeah.
So, this was my favorite dress of the night. This is Zendaya in Valentino, light pink satin with applique, like roses on it.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, she is tiny, 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 so it's not like this would look great on everyone. But with her skin color, hair color, this was probably one of my favorite dresses of the whole season.
And she had
ever.
she had 4 or 5.
Was she the host or something?
No, she's just there. This was like
gorgeous.
she missed the Globes. I think she might have missed a couple of the other awards. So
stunning.
This was like her big I'm back moment.
And then look at her necklace. It was diamonds. Oh, just gorgeous.
Luxury Law does not.
What's Luxury Law?
That's Law Roach. That's his Instagram account. He's her stylist. So,
look at you. Are you aware of this whole Selena Gomez, Hailey Bieber TikTok brewing? It's very confusing.
Familiar with it because Hailey did this on like a show when they mentioned.
What do you mean did this?
Taylor Swift was mentioned.
Okay,
in like
I'll
a
tell
clip.
you. Let me just explain.
Yeah, go for it.
It's very confusing. I don't know if people know, but Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber were a couple in love. Mm-hmm. They were teenage sweethearts. It has also surfaced that a lot of people always felt that Hailey Bieber was like stalking Justin and was a fan and broke them up. There are tweets and everything from Hailey Bieber being a huge fan of both of them and both of their loves. Nothing's cuter, like literally Hailey Bieber tweeting, nothing's cuter than Selena and Justin. I just love Selena. She's so gorgeous. This, and this. He's on a red carpet. She's like lurking in the back, but she also like had famous family. She's
Nepo baby.
She's a Baldwin.
Yep.
So anyway, so Selena did this thing called laminating your brows, which is like you brush them up and then they put something on them so they stay brushed up. And they looked pretty weird. And she did a TikTok like, I don't know about these brows. So then Hailey and Kylie, right? They posted, Hailey and Kendall Jenner were like joking and they played some song and people tried to think that the song was being rude to Selena. And then who did the brows? Kylie. Then Kylie posted just a photo of her brows saying, it wasn't an accident. And anyway, everyone's getting involved during the rain. And and then Taylor's like, don't mess with it. Taylor Swift, because she's her girl. At the certain point, Selena goes forward and goes, I've gained weight because I have lupus and all this stuff on social media is silly. So I'm going to leave. Meanwhile, she gained 3 million more followers than Kylie. A lot of people think Kylie buys her followers. There's all these funny memes of like the whole, like things coming after. And
these girls need a hobby.
All I know is that those Selena Gomez fans, I'm still shooketh from when I mentioned that she wasn't as vocal about this girl being her best friend, the one that gave her the kidney. And everyone explained to me, you can have more than one best friend, Heather, you bitch. Yeah. And she has lupus and you old hag and the rats are coming for you. And how dare you bring it up? And the girl is fine. And she doesn't, they posted 2 years ago. I don't know what you're talking about, that they're not close. And so there you go. And then Hailey's like, I love Kylie. It's
it's exhausting. But
it really is kind of exhausting. It was kind of boring. I don't even know why I talked about it, but I just felt like there was so much that I was seeing bits and pieces that I felt like I had to tell you guys.
But I think Selena is the best because I think she is the one handling the situation the best. Where I think it was announced that she finally has the most followers on Instagram
of anyone in the world
and beat Kylie. And then Selena went on to say after the announcement, I'm going to be taking a social media break to focus on my mental health. I'm like, get the followers and be like, bye.
When do you think she'll come back? I give it 2.5 weeks.
Oh, back on social media?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she's pretty good about it. I mean, she's working.
Well, let's just talk. Let's ask the Juicy Coopers. What is a social media break? Is it 28 days? Or like 28 days is how long it takes to go to rehab, to detox?
Like a sober January?
Yeah. Is it 1 month? Is it a quarter?
Uh-huh.
What constitutes a social media break? Because I think society needs to
take one.
If we're doing a 4-day work week, if people are going for that, that's fine. I think we also need to kind of classify and be specific about what is a social media break. And does that really mean that you remove all the apps from your phone and you don't even look at it?
Yeah.
Or you're just not posting or commenting or liking?
I think it's like you're doing all of that. I think you're removing all of them and just sitting and enjoying life like the olden days, like the 1900s.
So, and how long do you think that should be? I think to be significant and for it to have some major things happen in the world and with people that you can't touch upon, I think it should be a solid 90 days.
Yeah. I agree.
That's what I'm
If you're going to stick with it.
If you're going to announce it.
Yes, there needs to be.
If you do an announcement, it has to be 90 days. And I'm going to hold you to it.
The timer starts now.
Yeah, if you're going to announce it. So be real careful because I'm coming for you. If you show up on day 41.
Hey guys, you missed me? No, you broke it. You relapsed, you fell off the wagon. Hold them accountable.
And then it's either, whenever people come back, it's either the most thirst trap, like gorgeous photo, or it's like just of a daisy.
Mm-hmm.
It's never like an in-between, like, hey, guess what? Went to Disneyland today and thought I'd just share some great photos. Been becoming a killer mom. And we went to Disneyland and had a great time. No, it's never that. It's going to be thirst trap.
Oh, yeah. Just naked. Caption, did you miss me?
Yeah.
Like just like in a shower.
Right.
Yeah.
Just an ass profile.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
I need to be a little more nude. No?
No.
Okay.
Okay, the Woody Harrelson, I started to see about Woody Harrelson had a controversial monologue. So I go to watch it. It was really pretty boring and unfunny. I'll just say that.
The show or the
His monologue.
Okay.
I only got through the first thing started, and it was the new guy that does such an amazing Donald Trump.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That was hilarious. And then he started doing it, and he was like telling a story about smoking weed and being a weed smoker, and I don't know, coming to New York, and the last time he did it, and I'm waiting because I heard there's something controversial about COVID-19 in this. And then at the end, he goes, and he keeps going back to that. He was reading the script on this tree in Central Park. And he goes, so finally, let me get back to it. Like he kept going off track. So I read the script, and I decided not to do the movie because it was so unbelievable. And it was about how the government got everybody to stay in their houses. And the only way they could come out is if they took drugs and took the drugs numerous times. Hey, everybody, it's Saturday night. And that was it. So he's basically, but the audience absolutely did not get what he was saying.
Uh-huh.
They weren't like, ooh, ah. They weren't like, boo. They weren't like laughing.
They were my face right now.
Yeah, they were like, because it was confusing.
Yeah.
The only reason I think I caught it is that because someone else was like, hey, he said something like controversial at the end. And
he just said something and it didn't make sense.
yeah, so I definitely think like it maybe wasn't the end of like, was it on his teleprompter? Did they know? Because the other story was that, Dave Chappelle hijacked the monologue. So he wanted to hijack the monologue, or at least at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a little too subtle. It's like when I tried to call out Bethany Frankel and I was too subtle about it and no one knew what the fuck I was talking about. That's exactly what it's like. So when I was trying to call out Bethany Frankel for sending a cease and desist about this girl that was doing videos about
her. Oh, right.
her,
Yeah, I remember that.
I was so scared of Bethany Frankel that I hit it like this, like because I'm afraid,
Why? Because she'll find you in your dreams?
she'll find me or she'll send me a cease and desist. But now I'm not afraid anymore. And I thought I did it in such a clever way, like Woody Harrelson, where I put it in a movie.
Uh-huh.
Nobody knew what the fuck I was talking about. Like, I was like, imagine there's this big former housewife who da-da-da-da, and I did this whole thing. And literally, I think like I don't even think the girl that I was talking about, Meredith Lynch,
Got it.
got what the fuck I was saying. Like, it was just. So if you're going to say it, if you're going to hijack something, just say it.
But in Woody's defense,
Yeah.
what if,
Yeah.
because he's a big, cannabis
Right.
advocator. He's got an amazing shop in West Hollywood called
Yes.
The Woods.
And he plugged that.
So
he
good.
Did it,
Oh, he
Bethany
did?
Frankel. Yeah.
Oh, good.
He did a skinny girl thing.
It's
yeah.
my favorite. It's my
Yeah.
favorite store. But I think there's always that saying, like, when the edible kicks in.
Yeah.
He could have been mid-monologue and that edible kicked in and he went, it's Saturday night.
I mean, I think it all came from, like, I've been smoking pot my whole life. It's only recently been legal, but I had to deal with all this bullshit.
He did, yeah.
He was like arrested and all this stuff. So he's like, isn't it ironic that now in the last few years, literally the government was like forcing you to take this in order to live your life?
Oh, I
So-
could see it that way. Yeah.
See what I mean? Hey, what? The point did not get across.
It did not get across because
It
he was
did
like,
not-
hey,
so
maybe
he's
if we
like-
just smoked a joint and like maybe like the medicinal qualities, whatever, but it did not read at all.
No, but I think he was saying the government was so against marijuana
Marijuana
use
for so
up
long.
until 10 years
Yeah.
ago.
Uh-huh.
And now they're being like, if you don't take this drug, you can't leave your house. You can't have any fun. Everyone's going to hate you. And so the only way you can get out of your house is do this. So
Yeah.
it was a big week for COVID-19 fun because also they said now the energy, this is from Business Times and everyone's reporting on it, says that COVID-19 pandemic likely was caused by a lab leak in China. It was not the bat.
Do you see the shock on my face? Like, hasn't this been said for like the past 3 years?
But I think it was still like
conspiracy theory.
yes, and is this the bat, and or did it just start? And so, so it was funny. Chris Frangiola posted, and I thought this was funny. He goes, "So can the bat now sue for defamation?" Because
Sure.
yeah, 'cause that was like
Absolutely.
really unfair. People were not friendly to bats. People didn't find them cute anymore.
Did you find bats cute?
No, but there are those places like in Sydney and stuff where you go. I was freaked out by it when I was in Sydney. And you go in some cave at a park and you look up and there's just like thousands of bats.
No.
And I definitely think I wouldn't want to go in that bat cave. Like,
Have you
anyway.
seen the bats that are like the size of people? They're like
No.
they're like gigantic bats and they just hang upside
Anyway.
down. No thanks.
Don't come after me, everybody. I'm just reporting the news. Okay. Lady Gaga is sued
What?
by the woman. Okay. You know her dogs.
Yes.
Were
Today's the
stolen.
anniversary, actually,
Ugh.
that her dogs were kidnapped, or it was like last night.
So, as you guys, to remind you guys, she had these French
Bulldogs.
French bulldogs. And what do they call Frenchies? And her dog walker was walking the three of them. He was held at gunpoint and shot. He tried to keep them. I think he only got to keep one, and two were taken. She then says, I will give $500,000, no questions asked, just get me back my dogs.
Mhm.
The dogs surprisingly showed up tied to like a leash in like a cute alley in West Hollywood
Yeah,
or whatever.
by like a garbage can.
Yeah, and then whatever, then someone like sees them. And then they put it all together and realize that the woman that returned them knew the people that shot this poor guy, and that's that. That woman is now saying, but you said no questions asked, I want my $500,000. The woman who was part of it that
Oh.
returned.
What? My head hurts. Like,
Yeah.
So she was with the dog nappers, and then she's like,
proved
"Hey,
that
I
there
told
was a
you."
connection that like they were like, hey, if you want, go return these dogs now. And she like, so I'm guessing, she kind of obstructed justice because she didn't share her truth. But the reason some attorneys taking it is because Lady Gaga said like, no questions asked, you'll get your money, and she never got any money.
That's if you were not a part of the
Right.
kidnapping.
Right.
Like, that's so shallow.
Yeah. So I don't think she is going to win.
No,
but-
not at all. She's like, "Hey, remember that time you said?"
Yeah.
No, you were part of the dog napping.
Right.
You get nothing. No. That's dumb.
Okay,
Who's this?
This girl is this really cute girl who was one of the soft swinging TikTok moms of Utah. So this girl, what is her name? Taylor Frankie Paul. She had all these friends that had equally long, gorgeous hair and tiny bodies and very similar looking houses. And they were young moms that were all Mormon that had like cute husbands. And
Two husbands?
Cute husbands. They all had cute husbands.
Oh,
and
cute.
They would come and they would wear crop tops and sweatpants and do dances in front of their farmhouses.
Talent.
And and then it came out that she was like, we soft swing and it went too far. And some of the other people were like, no, we didn't. And then she got divorced. And then people said that they saw them in Salt Lake City filming for a reality show. And I asked Whitney Rose about it. And she's like, I heard that she goes, I don't know any of the young swingers. I know older swingers, but I don't know the young swingers. But I can see why people would be swingers because they get married so young and they're not really supposed to drink alcohol or have coffee, so they might
or caffeine,
right? Or want to so they might want to switch. Anyway, she got arrested over the weekend.
No, Taylor Frankie Paul.
She has a new boyfriend, and I guess she was like hitting him or throwing something at him. And while it was happening, her 5-year-old was on the couch, so she's in a lot of trouble.
So she was beating this guy up while her kid was on the couch.
Yes.
Watching.
So it's like a domestic violence, but also like child negligence, or it's worse if it's like in front of a minor.
Oh, but it's also like training the kid like how to watch like a Housewives episode.
Well, so this tells me like, does this mean that the reality show is off, or did this just get it greenlit? Because now we have to see her go through why and of course the boyfriend then is like sort of defending her and not necessarily like, because it's just a crazy night, but they were called.
I want to know what happened. And also, that's the name of the show, Soft Swing.
Let me see if I have it all here.
The Real Soft Swingers of Utah.
So she was arrested at 1:56 a.m. So that shows that
something's up. Nothing good happens.
Had to stay there till 10:35 the next morning. Ew. 3 misdemeanor charges: assault, criminal mischief, and domestic violence in the presence of a child. Her boyfriend did not call 911, but they think a neighbor did.
Because they were loud.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to speak on it until more comes out. And if it was up to him, he doesn't want anything to come out, saying that he's so broken right now after her cheating scandal broke up her marriage. She's so broken up. She doesn't want to speak on it, but neither does the new boyfriend.
Well, ask the kid. What did you see there, Johnny? She'll heal from this, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
She'll swing right back.
I only feel like arrest can only help a reality show career, providing you don't have to go and do a lot of time in prison, which she won't do any prison time for this. Okay. Did you see this Iggy Azalea?
No.
So she is on OnlyFans.
Yes, I knew that. And
she was very open about doing it and talking to people and how she does it. And then Andy was like, okay, talk to me as if I'm one of your fans. And I send you a picture of my small dick or whatever.
He said that?
Yeah. And then she just goes hardcore after him. And she's like, you piece of shit, like saying all this awful stuff, like degrading him.
Oh, she's one of those.
Yes. Okay. And then they said, well, that's basically what the character did in Euphoria, the teen sex worker in Euphoria.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But I don't know if it was the exact thing or she's just being honest that that's what she does with certain guys and they like it. They like to be like emotionally abused, whatever.
Yes, I know. I know
and
some
then
people
anyway, I guess she does have a new song coming out. So I don't know. I guess you can't blame people, but it's just kind of like to admit that you like then say those. Like it's one thing to be like, hey, I'm on OnlyFans. Say what you will. If you want to see what I do, join it. Mm-hmm. But the fact that she like basically said, yeah, and I degrade these guys and they like it and I get paid for it. It was honestly like so
honest
to me, like depressing.
Why?
Depressing on all fronts. Depressing that's part of your way to make money, to say awful things to a guy that you don't know.
Who's paying for it.
Awful that this guy exists.
Wow.
That he reaches out for this and that he wants it. And that this is just part of our society and that it's like, it just exists. It's not secret anymore. And And it's a a career day choice.
Sex work is work.
Yeah, I did career day next. How soon before like someone's parents come and does career day
For OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Oh, I give it maybe a couple years, if that.
I give it 4 years at a public school, but they say only seniors over 18 can go to it.
OnlyFans is wild because like I'll get on TikTok or whatever, and then like I'll see someone that I'm like, oh yeah, this is a cute video of, someone playing with their cat,
Yeah.
and then a couple months go by, and then all of a sudden I'll see that like Linktree app or in the description, and you're like,
Yeah.
what's this? You click on it, and then you like go to their Twitter, and then you
Here's
click on
my
the Twitter, and you're
OnlyFans.
like, oh, this is full dong now. We've just moved on up.
I
Oh,
just
we've got
got
a
hot and
wardrobe
took
change?
off my sweater. Yeah.
Because you were talking about OnlyFans. Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah, well, that's what people have to do.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a thing. I feel like if you're doing it on OnlyFans and you're being safe, go for it. Kink is kink. I'd rather them.
But then again, she says she's making so much money on OnlyFans, Iggy, that she won't even say how much money she's making. And you got to make
Sure.
it. You got to make it when you can make it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Go for it. And she says that she's in touch with Britney. And when Spencer and I were on, we were pleading to Britney
Yes.
to make her Instagram somewhat profitable.
Sensitive.
Whether it's Instagram subscription or going to OnlyFans or Patreon. So hopefully, Iggy, I will forgive the fact that I thought that was kind of a gross moment on Watch What Happens Live. If you get Britney to join.
I did love that you and Spencer did talk about that because I couldn't agree more. It's
Yeah,
like, hey,
like, why
get on
not?
OnlyFans.
It's
Put
what
your
you
nips
like
out
to
there.
do. You
whatever.
love reading the comments, and now you've disabled the comments because it's just enable the comments, and everybody that likes you will be writing you beautiful things. And every day you can be like, hi, y'all, how do you like my outfit? And that's going to get you going, and you're going to make all this money.
Yeah. Put up. I'm missing a good old fashioned Daisy picture from
Yeah.
Britney. Remember? It's just like
A teacup.
a teacup.
6 out of 10 young men are single.
Oh,
And there's disturbing reasons why. This is from the New York Post. Well, so 63% of men under 30 are electively single, and experts say it's because of their erotic alone time online. I mean, I figure that just so much porn by themselves.
Because they're addicted to porn.
They're addicted to porn, and then the pandemic obviously made it harder to meet someone and made it more comfortable to be alone. 34% of women under 30 are single. This number has also gone up since the pandemic. The male number also has a factor that men the same age are not as appealing as the older men, because the whole sugar daddy, again, normalizing being a sugar baby and everything makes it harder for these guys that are just like 30 and haven't really established themselves making money. Expectations of American men are rising, and men don't have any more to give. Men are more lonely people than women. They just don't have as good of friendships and stuff. And 50% of men say they have no personal relationships at all, friends or girlfriends, and women are emotionally intimate relationships with each other, and men do not. I think this is so sad. And I mean,
Fascinating at the same time.
I think there has to be, and I've said this before, I think there's going to be more like, but you still have to get someone out of the house. But I think there should be more like,
Well, when the rain stops.
almost like adult summer camp type of stuff, forcing people to not only go to a place,
A mixer.
but like have games and stuff,
Mhm.
not just a speed dating, but like getting people to be like, hey,
Interaction.
like this is what we're going to do. Like, go to this thing and you play this game, and even just to make friends. Like, it's seriously going to have to be something that people have to work. Like, you have to get out of your house, you have to put off and you've got to be social, and then maybe something more exciting will come from
Mhm.
it.
I want to say, I'm going to chime in here.
Chime in.
I think the reason for this is because everyone is just so obsessed either on social media with filters, how they look, you see this like lifestyle of just like, I'm getting my money, I'm making all this money, I'm doing this, I'm making all this, I have all this success where everyone's bragging about all their accomplishments. I feel like, it's just this kind of like stigma of like how many followers I have, how many, people subscribe to all my shit. And I think it's like, it's depression. It's like it's depressed. People are depressed because they just feel that they can't amount to that, or it's like, oh, well, I can't clearly date this woman or this guy because they're out of my league, rather than actually getting to know the person or like, saying hello, they just kind of just backtrack and they're just like, oh, well, I'll never amount to their level. Or, if I date within their circle will be like, gross. Who's this like common person, And
I also think that with all the apps and stuff, you hear so much that then the person, they never get to the date part.
Right.
Like they match and they talk. And
it's just sex.
Or even just that they got the boost they needed that you matched with them, but then they don't even make the effort to actually want to meet in person.
We're so quick to ghost.
Yeah.
So quick to ghost.
Yeah.
And it's like, can we cut it out with this? I'm like looking at these videos of people just going up on the streets and be like, how much money do you make?
Yeah.
And like, cut that shit out. Smash or pass. I'm going to punch you in the neck.
What's
how about
smash
that?
Or pass?
Smash or pass. It's what... Annie, smash or pass.
So you show a picture of someone hot and you're like, would you
or like
screw
the
them?
person. It's like, hey, if I went up to you and it's like, hey, would you fuck me or diss me or pass me or whatever? Yeah. And what would you do?
Smash or pass.
Right.
No, I'm asking you, Heather. Smash or pass?
Oh, I would smash you for sure.
Yes.
Climb
but
on
it's
up
like
on top of that. Yeah.
I would smash you for sure. But it's like that. It's just like we're doing all this like, like swipe. Oh, this guy's hot. I went on a date with him, and then I went on a date with him, and then after the one date, you're allowed to judge your future with this person off of one date, and then I didn't like it. It was weird. He had like spinach in his teeth, so I ghosted him.
Yeah,
it's so weird. I feel bad for these guys.
But then
girls.
At the same time, I was talking about like we saw something about this development that was going to start, and I said, if I was a developer, though. Mm-hmm. I would only be making like a 1-bedroom or studio places. That's what I would be making right now, which is so sad.
Yeah.
Like if I was going to do like 67 units of an apartment building in a city.
Yeah.
I would do that and I would make them like small but super efficient because I think people would rather, so many people don't even want to like live with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or deal with a roommate or like 2 or 3 bedroom. Like I think
we need to pitch a show because right now all the shows are Love Island.
Yeah.
Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah.
What is it? Perfect Match. We're just like getting horny singles and giving them like, a beach with all the liquor.
They're doing there's casting going out for the Senior Bachelor. So it's going to be Mike Fleiss, The Bachelor, but it is going to be with seniors.
Great. I'm saying like take them to like a farmhouse and do the single mixer where there's no sex involved. You get one-on-one dates. There's
but
no
for TV
sweets.
Though, we still have to be intrigued and we still have to see, good-looking people or weird people or weird situations like 90 Day Fiance or something. It has to be like intriguing for people to watch. Now, the senior one, some people are like, I don't want to see this. I don't think it's going to be good. I think though.
Are they seniors or is it like TV seniors where they're 38?
I mean, the photos of who they're looking for you to go in, I think it's going to have to be, I'm sure it's going to be, it really should be 60 and over because I feel like 55 is still really young. But I, around the corner. But I also feel like with like plastic surgery and stuff, like you could look really young at 55. But 60, even with plastic surgery, you are just you're more mature. You're just an old. So I think it should be 60 and over. And it could be fun.
I think it'll be great.
Because I think like it's older people who watch regular TV. So I think they're kind of smart to do this as the regular Bachelor has dipped a lot in viewership. I think then you have all the same staff and you have all the same people production. I think it's worth trying again. I think they tried it once before, but it was more like that mid-40s thing.
Yeah. And
I think like
Life
just go,
After Love or
yeah,
whatever
I think,
the hell.
yeah, go for and see what this will be. So anyway.
Do they get the, what is it? What's it called? The suites?
Over in the fantasy suites.
The fantasy suites. Do we get like senior
with
fantasy suites?
With some Viagra.
Viagra, some lube. You get it. It's just like some romance.
The snore mask.
The snore, yeah. The tank next to him.
The eye mask.
The adjusting Tempur-Pedic bed.
Totally. Like everyone has like water, some pills.
The Life Alert necklace.
They're like, can I get the side closest to the bathroom? Yeah.
The handles in the shower.
Yeah.
And the hot tub just to get out.
And then who's the host? Is it somebody older or is it somebody younger being like, hey, Grandpa?
Oh, the hands.
Yeah, hey, Grandpa. So tomorrow is overnight.
Oh, yeah.
And you have
I love
three
an overnight
choices.
camping trip with my grandson. No. You got to
They're not
bone
going
it
to be
down
like
with Thelma.
80. They're all going to be like...
No.
I think they're going to be like between 60 and 69. That's going to be my prediction.
Good number.
And pretty put together and pretty fit.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're going to have lots of sad stories because there's going to be a handful of widows.
Tons of them.
We're going to have cheating. I mean, these people are going to have a lot juicier stories than the 22-year-olds we have, but still in that same thing.
Do they get roses? Do you think they're still going to get roses?
Yes.
Okay. Not like a
Definitely.
wilted rose? Or
no, they're going to have to just sign up for the show.
Yeah.
The way the show is. Pink.
I love her.
Is going on a massive. I did see this since we're just doing a controversial show. I saw this girl on TikTok that's like, I'm a huge Pink fan. And she looked like she should be a Pink fan. She had Pink's hair. She, seemed like she could fix a lot of things in the garage. And she seemed thrilled. And she's like, I have loved Pink. I've gone to 500 shows of hers. Whatever. She goes, and she's never had to promote a tour before. And now she has to promote all of her shows. And I'm watching this going, what is the point of this? And she goes, so then my friend called me and said, we're not giving Pink any more of our money, are we? And I'm like, what did she do wrong?
What did she do wrong?
She is a spokesperson for the vaccine.
What?
No, she is.
Okay.
So I guess if people feel strongly about that, they are not. And that's what this girl was saying, is that's why she has to heavily promote her shows, because she may have lost some people with, I didn't even know that was the case, but that I do remember seeing a commercial. However, when we talked about Jamie Lee Curtis, she is someone that, again, I just think it's a shame she's not part of a soccer team. I just think it's like, how can this be?
Well,
everything about you is just perfect
to
be that. And she was with Drew Barrymore, and they were like,
I saw that.
Sitting on the couch and just so close. And I'm like, please, you guys need to make out right now. I don't care that it's daytime TV.
She's like, I got my hair done on Melrose, and I was sitting outside, and
love that.
And
what you do for me and everybody is just, look at you. You have the hair.
Thank you.
You have the music.
Yeah.
You're a mother.
Yes.
You're so inspiring.
Yeah.
And you're here on my show.
I just love you so much. Like, you walked by, and I remember I just moved to LA, and I saw Drew Barrymore, and I was like,
how is it that you even care about me at all?
I just love you so much.
I'm like a nobody.
Yeah.
I'm a dork.
No, you're not.
I'm just this girl that's done like 100 movies. I have 12 lines of home goods and clothing and makeup and cookbooks and a talk show, but like, who am I really compared to Pink? I can't spin around on a bed sheet.
Yeah, you can, but I do have a question, Drew. Smash or pass?
Absolutely. I've not had sex in 5 years, but I would smash you 7 times over, and then I would smash some sweet potatoes in my kitchen and make you the most delicious souffle.
All right. You heard her, Ross. Beat it.
Anyway, she's been talking about how at one point Christina Aguilera was like, get the fuck out of my seat or something. Or I was sitting in my seat. Now she's like, I don't know why this is a big deal. I'm like, you'd been telling the story, and we need to tell the story because we need to sell you some tickets because a bunch of people don't want to go to your shows anymore because you did a Pfizer commercial.
I think it's also like, Pink used to be so like, rowdier, you know, so raise your glass, and like, you know, she was like kind of like a party anthem girl, and then she like became a mom, and like her songs got a little more mellow and chill. She has that new song, Trust Fall, which is really, I love it.
I love all her music.
I do
think
too.
She's great.
But I think it's like everyone kind of was like, if I'm going to go to a Pink concert, we're going to see her spinning around on a trapeze. So it's kind of like we know what we're getting into.
Right.
So I'm not going to say like necessarily be like, oh, it's because she did back. I think it's just kind of like it's predictable, like what you're going to get at a Pink concert. But it is funny you mentioned the whole thing at the beginning of this story where. Do you remember the footage of her at the GLAAD Awards?
I just want to say, also sometimes the audience do get older.
Yeah.
And they are like, you know what, I have seen it a bunch of times, and I don't know that I want to spend $600 or however astronomical these ticket prices are.
Minimum.
I don't
like your sushi restaurant.
Yeah, if I can only go to like 2 things a year, I don't know that this is the one I want to like put the effort for.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But there was the video of her at the GLAAD Awards one year, and she got up on the podium and she was like, "I have something to say. I'm gay," and the whole room was like, and then she stops and she goes, "I'm kidding, I'm not."
Wait, when was this?
Have you not seen this video? It's like a couple years ago, maybe like I want to say like maybe 8, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know, but if you look at it, she goes up there and everyone's like, "Finally!" And then she's like, "Just kidding, I'm not." And they're like, "What?" Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Maybe that's why the audience is turned on her.
Well, like, and she said that Christina Aguilera like swung at her at a club.
At a club? Oh, okay.
At a club, yeah. And then I don't know. I love Pink. She is incredibly talented. However, this is what I want to say. She went on Kelly Clarkson and they did a duet of her song.
Saw that
That's
too.
what I want. I want Kelly Clarkson and Pink to do a tour because I think the two of them have the best voices in the business today, and I'm sticking by it.
Right.
But I really do. Like if they want to do something different, elevate a tour, go on the road together, sing hits, classics, do a Kellyoke, Pinky-oke, whatever you want to do. I think that would be great.
Yeah, but we all know they're not going to do that.
Why not?
Why not? Because she's got a TV show, she has kids, and she can do her own concert and make just as much money. Why would she want to split the bill?
Or Pink, be a judge on The Voice. Bring your fans back in, you know?
I don't need to see her on The Voice. Okay. This you sent me, which
I'm
so excited about it. Kristin Chenoweth is to star as Jackie Siegel in the Queen of Versailles music stage adaptation. I have talked about Queen of Versailles. The documentary, I believe, is on Amazon. You can watch it. It came out in like 2009 or 10, and it was all about them building this huge house and all the wealth that they were accumulating by doing timeshares in Vegas and Florida and everything else. And then, of course, the 2008 real estate market crashed, and they had to stop the, building of the house. And she's like so honest. She had all these kids. She had 8 kids. And she's like, well, I wouldn't have had this many kids if I ever thought like I wouldn't have a bunch of people to take care of them. And like their little pets were shitting everywhere. And the dad was like miserable. And I know Jackie. I've interviewed her on the show, and she's got a, and she had to come out again. The other show come out. I just kind of want, I don't know. Like, I wonder what this will be like. I can imagine the set.
Oh, everything.
Like a half-built, like, Versailles, and there's, like, scaffolds, and she's coming out, and she's like, why has the nanny quit? Like, I don't know what it's going to be.
Who's in my morning kitchen? Yes. Who's putting the birds by the fridge? I think it's...
Because there were those scenes from the documentary where it's like, she was like, hey, honey, do you want to come out and eat? And he was like so depressed. So it's like, then does she go out by the window? And
I'm wondering if we're going to do Act 1 as the initial construction, and then intermission's going to be the time period of the recession and they had to stop. And then Act 2 is her... renaissance, if you will, of her, like her kids, like whole new cast. The kids are all older now. Or
they also could start it out where we get her little life story.
Yeah.
Of how she was like a pageant girl and how she was married and was Mrs. whatever she was, Florida,
Mhm.
and the event happened at his hotel,
Yeah.
and that's how she met him, and then had the 8 kids with him.
What if they did like, in Phantom of the Opera where the chandelier drops? What if instead of that, it's like the marble tiles falling off of the house? Did you watch the second season? Where
No,
because they hadn't
yeah,
worked on it for so long that the actual marble was falling off of the house, like heavy ass marble, and they're like, we have to move because this could kill someone. And Kristin Chenoweth, I'm sorry, this is going to be so much fun, so much camp.
yeah, we'll see. I mean,
I DM'd her and was just like, this is so awesome. I'm so happy for you. And I think that's what we need. We just need a campy, over the top musical with Kristin Chenoweth in it, playing a fascinating person. Because I think
I don't know. There's some. I mean, they did lose a child, so there is like tragedy.
There is
I don't
tragedy in
know
it.
if they'll share all that.
No, not in a musical. It's going to be Kristin Chenoweth hyped up on speed, running around.
Yeah.
Like building her dream home. I'm like here for it.
Sam Smith is teasing that he will be in Just Like That. So we don't know if he has a part with Shay Diaz. What's happening? We know that Aiden has been definitely filming. Some people think that these photos of them making out are to throw us off.
Yes,
like they're
I think
almost
they are.
doing these things to like have us wonder that,
Yes.
you know.
Who did I talk to about this the other day? We were talking about this and Just Like That. And I think, here's my prediction that other people have been talking about, that the Aiden Carrie romance is going to be a dream. It's going to be a dream sequence. And she's going to wake up and be like, I don't think there's going to be like them getting together. I think it's a dream sequence of like her love lost. But I do think that Shay Diaz and Sam Smith, it hasn't been announced yet, but they are going to be best friends in the show. And Sam Smith will be playing the pivotal character of They Diaz.
I think that he will play a part in her dorky sitcom that she's doing in LA.
But he's not going to be in the
be-
show. He'll be like a camera guy or something.
Okay, I disagree.
No, you
I
think he'll be like in it?
Yeah, I think he'll like be in it. He'll be playing some musical star, some version of himself, and she gets this guest.
What?
All
What?
right.
Oh, God. The
Vision.
third eye was moving. What happened? Raven Simone, come back.
Because it's so unexpected.
What?
They
No.
yes.
No.
Miranda walks in
No.
on them getting together.
No.
100%.
That's a lot.
And then she's just like, I told you I was non-binary. I told you I was fluid. It's wherever the wind blows. And today it blew towards Sam Smith.
And that is unholy.
Yeah.
That's mommy don't know. Shay Diaz is getting.
Oh my God. I also have a really, I can't stop the vision.
What? Go.
What?
Stop the vision.
What it is sexually, and turn this down if you have kids in the car, it's going to be that Shay
has a strap on.
yes, and is doing him just like that scene. I
In
will
White
never
Lotus.
forget. No,
What?
the scene was in the Showtime, The L Word, with the actor who is the host of Traitors. He played
Alan Cumming?
Yeah, he played a gay man on the show.
Well, yeah.
But this character that was a woman who was transitioning to a man, then was having sex with him with a strap on. I didn't even know this was possible. And I was like in my 30s when I saw it. So
You had no idea?
just that the woman that the woman would do it.
You know Julie Goldman, right?
No, that the woman would do it to a gay man.
Uh-huh.
So it was like a triple whoa. And I think that
Wow.
that is what it's going to be. And that is when Miranda's going to go.
And just like that.
Just like that, I realized I just wanted to be a late in life lesbian. I'm not into
all of
the
this.
expansion of the queer universe in 2023.
It's too much.
It's too much. I thought we could just wear some turquoise
And les out.
and go and travel around the world. And laugh and watch weird movies,
Yeah.
and I could meet your weird friends and go,
Yeah. And I could have the occasional scissor in the
Yeah.
kitchen.
yes,
All of that.
And you could be the masculine energy or the feminine energy because you're non-binary. But this, she's gonna think that she can hang with it, and then she's just gonna be like, I can't, and then that is gonna be the reason that she leaves LA and comes back to New York.
And
I do believe that Carrie and Aiden will get together, and I've said it. It just won't be a lasting thing.
Right.
It'll be like he is separated from his wife or something, and they hook up, and all the stuff comes up of how many times she screwed him over, and he will dump her.
Again.
He never dumped her.
Yeah, he did.
No, she didn't want to get married to him. Then she cheated with
You ruined my life.
she cheated with him.
Uh-huh.
So he was heartbroken after he fixed up her place and everything. And then she tries to get back together with him, and that's when he says, "You ruined my life."
Mm-hmm.
And then they see each other in the movie, and where she picked up like this, she keeps her hands by her side, and they flirt, but they don't follow up after that, So I think this will be the time where they do hook up. They have some passionate sex, and she's all excited. And now that he's single, he's being so inundated with chicks from 25 to 60 going after him that he's become like a player. He's not the guy that, see, feel this wood right here. See, it's so soft. See the grain? He's changed from that guy that made the homemade furniture.
He has an OnlyFans account now. No. He has taken thirsty shower pics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Aiden smashed.
They should definitely have a storyline where they're all excited about a guy, and then they see that he's doing thirsty shower pics. I love that.
Yep.
I did watch the end of this show.
Well, someone had to.
The Real Friends of WeHo. I watched the end of it. In the end,
such an ally.
They all hate each other and are like, I don't like this group of people, and I don't want to be on this show anymore. And I watched it, and this is what I think.
Okay.
This was the idea of having a bunch of gay guys in LA and follow them is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been up and coming, not famous at all, guys that are here and watch them like a Real World, but with gay guys.
Mm-hmm.
It was on MTV. I don't know why MTV thought they had to have 45-year-old established gay men who are married and CEOs of Butter and all this. And they actually hated each other.
They all hated each other.
They hated each other. It was awful.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think. I think this needs to end.
None of them lived here.
It needs to end, and this is what you need to do. I think there's a show here. I think there's people that would watch it. I think it's got to be 25-year-old-ish gay guys or around there that, maybe 25 to 35-year-olds, something like that, but in a place in their life where, I'm dating this older guy, or I'm dating my best friend's dad from high school. Give me some juice.
Mm-hmm.
Give me something, but not just, again, I'm opening something.
Right.
This is my business.
Here's my boutique.
I'm
opening a skincare line.
I'm at Macy's.
I'm going to Pump.
It just, that got boring.
Yeah.
Okay. Brad Pitt has a girlfriend.
I know.
She's 30.
Mm-hmm.
He's 59. They went to a dinner together.
So hot.
And she is recently divorced, and she's pretty. And I don't know if it's his girlfriend. They went to a dinner together, and they sat next to each other. I just thought it was another big age difference. But people don't seem to care when it's Brad Pitt.
No.
They only are mad when it's Leonardo. And Leonardo is back with Gigi. They went out to eat.
Yeah.
And he came out with his phone.
Oh, leave me alone.
Oh, they were both at the same party.
Who? Oh, Gigi and Leo?
Leo and
no,
I don't think they're dating.
No, I don't think so either. But it's also Brad Pitt. There was a time when Brad Pitt and Leo were just the two hottest guys. And now it's just Brad Pitt forever. I don't even know. You don't like Leo? Well, you were born
Leo's
in
face
you were
has
born in
gotten puffy.
2010, right?
His face.
So it's a whole different thing. I remember when girls were Leo, and now I'm if you saw Leonardo DiCaprio as like an Annie's age, you'd be like, What? But Brad Pitt?
He's looking a little
Any
mushy.
day.
So Kim Zolciak from Real Houses of Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
her house was in foreclosure, and her daughters were being stopped, and they were all like, yeah, it's a misunderstanding, you're crazy. And all the fans were like, no, finally, your overspending is going to catch up with you.
Ruin her.
And then sure enough, the foreclosure was canceled. She didn't get foreclosed upon. But it did come out that she has a horrible gambling problem.
God.
And that she spends all this money, that she'll like just be putting hundreds in the machine. And there's like episodes of the show, Don't Be Tardy for the Party, where she is a gambler. She also owes like $250 to American Express or something, $250,000. She clearly has an issue with her spending.
Okay, so if Kristin Chenoweth can play Jackie Siegel, I need Jennifer Coolidge to play Kim Zolciak.
Done.
Okay,
Done. And Kim Zolciak is only 44, but no, everyone's like, how can she only be 44? It's not that she necessarily looks older than 44. It's just when she was like 28, she looked 44. So, and she's been around forever. And
there are people that like
even
that.
out.
Yeah, they're like, you're like,
you just always look like you're 40.
Have you ever seen someone? They're like, you could be 16 or 45. Like
yeah.
It's like,
especially nowadays. It's very hard to. Tom Brady, according to Radar Online,
don't do this
is
to
a
me.
rumor.
Do not do this to me.
He loved doing 80 for Brady, which is a comedy, so much that according to this source, he is fixing to do stand-up comedy. It's his dream to do stand-up comedy, have a comedy concert.
Well, I think if he wants to start out, I think he needs to go by the old Chris Frangiola handbook. Start out at a big corporate event. What could go wrong?
God, you know how many corporate events he could get?
Oh, absolutely. That would be like his jam. How many people would be like, oh my God, I just want to. Who gives a shit if he bombs or not?
I wonder if you did have Tom Brady, just like you would if Tom Brady hosted SNL, which will you see if he ever has hosted SNL?
Yeah, he did.
They could write a funny monologue for anybody. So with all of his money, if his dream is really like, I want to feel what it's like, couldn't he just practice a monologue at a bunch of places and then actually just do okay and get the laughter, even though he's not a real stand-up?
Well, I mean, Brendan Schaub is. I mean, he's an MMA fighter who did stand-up, and you're like, what? So, I mean, it's like there's.
I mean, if you're looking for like a bucket
Jeremy
list,
Piven does it.
Yeah,
like it's
but
like.
I feel like Jeremy Piven is doing it for a while, and he is like creating new stuff and telling things, and he's like more. I don't
actively pursuing.
Yeah,
it.
I don't think Tom Brady needs to do that.
No.
I think you hire a bunch of writers, you have a bunch of sports jokes, and you kill it, and you get a bunch of people that are like obsessed with your life and sports, and you just have that experience, and you do it once, and then that's it, because it'll never go as well as the first time, especially if it's like a set monologue.
Yeah.
It's not like you're playing off the audience or building an act like a regular person. It's not like you're doing 10 minutes at the Comedy Store. No, that's what he has to do, is to do like a 30-minute thing.
Yeah. He needs to guest host on The Pylon on Amazon, which is like Sarah Tiana and Taryn from SNL. Like they have it's like a soup style show for the NFL.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really fun.
No,
but like he needs to go on like something like that. Something comedic, but don't jump into like that's the thing. You look at these like,
I don't think this story is real.
I hope not.
I think it could have sparked his like acting bug. I think he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think why not just do a bunch of cameos and be guest stars and stuff?
But there is nothing more entertaining or sad than like, you know, a comic who started out on like TikTok or any type of performer on TikTok. During COVID, they're like, oh, I'm going to try doing drag, like Sugar and Spice on RuPaul's Drag Race. They're like, we've only done drag for like 3 months. And then they get on this season and they're like, oh, where have you guys performed before? And they're like, our house. And you just realize how green they are, or like a comic on TikTok. And now they're like, oh my God, they're famous. And they sell out, these rooms, and you just see them just like, hey, so like it's a whole different
it's a whole
beast.
Thing to get used to. The Queen, Camilla, will now be just called the Queen instead of Queen Consort.
Nope.
And also, since the South Park.
Mm-hmm.
Prince Harry, according to New York Post, and Meghan Markle's U.S. approval rating plummets after South Park dig. They did a poll. Well, who is this poll? I mean, this
Who's
this
polling?
isn't like a political poll. Like,
Yeah.
of course.
You know,
And
there's not like a.
oh, they said it's even worse than Prince Andrews. That's pretty bad.
Well, but I mean, no one gives a shit about Prince Andrew.
No, they don't care that he was like screwing young girls.
Well, but I mean,
nobody
it's
cares
like,
about
and
that.
nothing's
Who cares
being done
about
about it.
Nobody cares about the Epstein stuff. Nobody cares. This was good. This socialite, it's a guy, and he was. I mean, he is like an Anna Delvey, but he.
Yes.
We looked into it. And
Okay, you did some juicy research.
Annie did some research for me.
Okay.
And
Annie did the book report.
she did do a little bit about the book report. Wait, let me find it. Oh, here we go. Socialite excommunicated from New York high society over fake Hermès bags. So it's a guy, and he sold a woman $100,000 worth of fake jewelry, saying it was worth $500,000, but it was all fake. Then everyone is blocking him on everything. No one seriously wants him to do anything. He also would set up fake appointments for like friends. Like, I'll get you that Hermès bag because it's so difficult to get an appointment and everything. And then the socialite would show up there and be like, what is this guy's name? His name is George. George set it up for me. And they're like, who's George? No, you don't have an appointment. Like,
who is George?
And then they're like, what? So then they, so then the girl she cried in the store, and the store took pity on her, and they still set her up with appointments. So the next day she did get her dream Birkin. So the story isn't that tragic. Anyway, he entered society through his mother's connections, but now everyone is blocking him, and he's not allowed to go to any charity events, and they're taking such extreme measures to keep this guy away from their inner circle that they're like, if I invite you to a charity event and you have a +1, now you need to give me the name, the ID, everything, because we don't want this guy showing up. But I know where he's going to be invited. Anna Delvy's dinner party, for sure.
You think?
If she doesn't,
yeah.
If the producers of the show do not tap into him right now and say, you need to go to the Anna Delvey dinner party, I will be so mad.
Hey, George, you need to stay on your lane.
Yes.
This is my thing. You're so basic.
Right. I think that she could be like a bitch to him.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
I want angry Anna.
Yeah.
I don't have time for you.
But there's all, listen, we've dealt with the Dirty Johns con men. I have featured a lot of con women, which is the new thing. But I don't think there's anything more fun and actually heartbreaking than a con gay. A gay guy who is a con man is the most fascinating form. Because a girl feels so safe with a gay guy, and he presents himself like he's rich, and he knows fashion. He's like, girl, I got you. And you just, I mean, to be deceived, it's one thing to be deceived by the guy that's saying that he loves you and he's fucking you every night.
Yeah.
We expect that.
Right.
Another one, to be deceived by some girl that, whatever, like an Anna Delvey. That's also horrible and weird because it's your friend. But women trust gay guys. Like, they are at the top of, we trust them more than anybody walking the earth. So when it happens, I think this is such a juicy, this is why I liked, what was the story that I loved with the Matt Damon? That's like an old fashioned one, but the Matt Damon and Gwyneth Paltrow, Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yeah, Talented Mr. Ripley.
But I think there's something, oh, and also the gay guy that was part of the Bling Ring.
The Bling Ring. There's, what's his name? George Santos. My God. He's like, I'm in Congress now.
That's what the Real Friends of WeHo knew.
That needs to be.
Only gay con men.
Yeah. By the way, I forgot to ask you, I need your routing number and your account info. Just whenever you can.
Because you're sending me a gift?
Yeah. There's like something coming. It'll be here anywhere between like 3 days and 6 years. Okay. So if you could just, but like no rush, but like as soon as you can.
Yeah. So I don't know I feel like in this story, maybe he only really stole from the girl that gave him the money for the jewelry, but the rest he was just infiltrating their lives. And I think they probably just all thought he was the greatest because he was like, I can get you any Chanel bag you want.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he was necessarily stealing from them. So it's like even more heartbreaking because it was just like a fashion con. It was like you just thought you had this great gay friend. You thought your number one gay best friend was all these other bitches wish. Like they were trying to poach him. But you're like, he's mine. And then you realize he's just full of shit.
He's full of shit. And also he didn't realize that, yes, maybe New York City is one of the most overpopulated cities in the country. But that inner circle is so tight.
Right.
And he was probably, it's expensive in New York. He's probably just like, oh yeah, I can make some money off these ladies, but didn't realize what he was actually getting into. But do I want to see that documentary? Yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough for a doc, but definitely enough for a guest star on the Anna show.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's going to sit on the other end.
Or to come to WeHo.
Or Friends of WeHo, yeah. Yeah, my name's George. I'm a gay con, and I'm here to slay.
And if they only keep one person, I will allow them to keep Brad Goreski. And he can... be like, look, I don't really, this guy is, I know some socialites he screwed over, but he does know his bags. So he starts to work for him, but he's still shady, but he's like fabulous and fun.
Right. But then Brad will rip him to shreds after he sees like all the fake bags and stuff. He's like, that's not a Chanel. And it's like pan to like dramatic pan. And then fade to black, go to commercial. That would be like we have some good cliffhangers with that one.
Some slow-mo walking. This it went viral. It was this person rented an Airbnb.
Oh, I saw this, yes.
In Montauk, and there were so many signs. This was one. Please don't spray or apply perfume, cologne, or body oils inside the studio. Please apply it outside. And then it was just, there were so many things. Leave the shower door open. Don't have the water going on longer than this. Instructions about how to flush the toilet. I just saw a TikTok.
Instructions?
Yeah. And then I just saw a TikTok on like someone going, how I check out of a hotel and just like, walking out, dirty clothes, how I check out of an Airbnb. And when there's like, you're doing the laundry, you're scrubbing the floor. I was getting so paranoid because we got like one time like a bad review or something.
Let's go off because I have one as well. What was yours?
We went to this place, and it was years ago, a little bit outside. It was in Aspen, but not like right in the town near Snowmass. And Peter booked it for the three of us. Little did I know that it was on the 4th floor, and there was no elevator. But we put up with that. So I had to walk up every time we were done skiing.
Ooh.
With our skis and the heavy boots, okay? And when we got there, in the microwave was a leftover burrito, okay? Fine, whatever.
Fine.
No, we didn't like stop the thing, but we still like.
Then
when we left, we took care of that. We threw that away. But then when we left, we kind of cleaned up. I don't know, whatever we were supposed to do, we did. And we got this like scathing report that there was like a coffee cup that was like missing or broken. I'm not kidding, like a coffee cup. And so then we were like, what about the fact that this never, actually this should be like illegal that there was not an elevator. What if someone was handicapped? Like you never told us. And then also this gross burrito thing. So then after that, we were so paranoid about cleaning up everything we were supposed to do. And that it's only recently that I've been like, if it doesn't have an option to pay extra for a cleaning person, I am no longer doing a load of laundry, nothing. I'm done. I'm at a point in my life. And I kind of feel like there's people moving back to hotels. Like I think people are like over how much work and of course the cameras in these places and stuff like aimed at their beds. What's your story?
I don't think that was I think there was a squatter in that house. I think there was a wall person in that house that came out while y'all were asleep,
who
made a burrito, broke a mug, you guys were passed out, then crawled back. Oh, don't get me started. You said left burrito, and I went wall person immediately. Mine was, I went with some of my friends. This happened twice once at New Year's.
Yeah.
This past New Year's, we got a house in Palm Springs, and we had the whole house, everything was ready, and it was freezing and it was raining, much like today.
Oh,
and we were like,
bummer.
well, we have this pool and it's heated, so we turned the heat up. The guy got a notification saying that the pool has gone up a couple degrees and we're going to have to pay $240 extra or whatever the hell it was. And so I'm just like, no, we want to sit in the hot tub on New Year's. And it was like, well, and it wasn't even mentioned. And I'm like, well, that's stupid.
If
then
you
why
can't use the jacuzzi,
like
are you
in
kidding
Palm
me?
Springs, if I want to turn the heat on and it's like heated, and so we had to pay for that, which was dumb. The second one was I went to Palm Springs in the summertime and nothing was touched. However, at 6 a.m., the guy got a notification that the thermostat went down maybe 2 or 3 degrees and called us and was like, I expected more from you guys. Started like yelling at my friend who booked the room, was like, I've been a fan of yours. How disrespectful. I'm like, we turned the AC on.
It's in the summer in
like,
Palm
what
Springs.
is wrong with you monster? And I'm like, some of these people, I'm just kind of like,
just please, like you should not be renting out.
you shouldn't be renting. Like, yeah, it's cute and everything, but like, my God, I didn't realize I was in like.
And also, I want to say to the people renting it out, my God, if that's the way it's going to be, it's probably not worth. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, I understand you make money, but like all the stress and time
That's
involved
what I'm saying.
in it.
I was like, I came here to relax. Why am I having to worry about money or like, oh my God, I'm breaking a rule?
But also, it's just like, my God, I'm not your kid.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 15 and I'm at someone's house, and I'm just like, and also just the cameras, like the fact that there's like ring cameras everywhere that can see you and
Terrifying.
do things, and no.
And they're like in their closet with all their cameras. Just
We use VRBO.
what's that?
It's the same thing as
VRBO. Yeah.
And I don't know. That's what we use all the time. And besides that one time, we've been really lucky with it. But it's now because we ask the questions ahead. Can we have the clean? Like, because I was like, I cannot spend. And also, it's like, you get out by 10:30 and you have 2 hours of
How
cleaning to
rude.
do. And I'm like, I have 2 loads of laundry. I have to make up you have to strip every bed, take out the trash. Like, to the point where I'll be like going in a tiny trash can to make sure there's not one piece of trash. I'm like, what am I doing? Every dish. So now it's like, no. Like,
VRBO.
I have to make sure that there's an option to like pay a little extra for a cleaning person, because I just want to fucking leave.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
like stay
we did
and
it.
leave.
Bye.
So Paris Hilton had her son. They've named him Phoenix Barron, and with her husband Carter. But now it is revealed that this article came out. Paris Hilton shares why Kathy Hilton and family didn't immediately know about her newborn. There was articles earlier that was like, Kathy Hilton didn't know for a week about the baby. And I'm like,
Well, I mean, duh.
but first I was like, the way it looked, I was like, a week that the baby's been out, like she knew a baby was coming, but didn't know for a week that the baby had been born.
Right.
No, and reading it further, I think that they really kept it secret from everybody that there was a surrogate carrying their child. And I think that totally makes sense, because Kathy Hilton is kind of wackadoo. And I remember when Caitlyn one time was like, I've got 11 grandkids, and everyone counted up and they're like, Kylie must be pregnant again, or Chloe must be pregnant again, or something, because they added it up. But so I think that they were like, let's just not tell anyone. But that is kind of sad that you can't like share this news. But I guess when you're that famous and
that
you're going
rich,
through a surrogate, you don't want people like judging you. Oh, where's the surrogate living?
Yeah.
Or trying to investigate or find the surrogate. So you want to protect her privacy and everything. So I think it's kind of sad, but I think it's also really smart.
I think it's great because I think I agree with you completely that Kathy would have been like, well, Paris is pregnant. And she'd be like, Mom, what are you doing?
Right.
So I think
she protected her mom from,
again,
she protected her mom from her being really pissed at her mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
What's more to a mother's love, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like when you're that rich, you're that famous, there's that many rooms in your house, like you could have a surrogate and not even know about it because she's in the East Wing, you know? You're just like,
the surrogate's living
the whole
there.
time. Yeah. Wall person, burrito in the microwave. You had no idea the entire time.
Yeah. So good for her. Now she's got a memoir coming out. Paris does.
Okay.
I guess.
How many pages is it?
I think it's going to be a juicy one. They're dropping little stuff that she has a Harvey Weinstein story.
Mm-hmm.
Sad stuff. She has a rape story that nobody knows about.
Oh, the one where she was at the school?
At the school. She had an abortion. So it's like all these little things coming out. So I mean, you know, and I guess the mom knows about none of it. So, I mean,
Kathy, Kathy's just like, wow.
I mean, I will be reading it, and and Kathy Hilton, I'm sure. I don't know if she'll dislike it as much as she liked Kyle's show about their mother called American Woman, or how much she disliked the Book of Hilton, but I'm sure it'll be somewhat protective of her family.
Do you think, do you think she's gonna talk about the sex tape or whatever, or is that just kind of over? Remember her sex tape, One Night in Paris?
Yeah, I mean, I think she will, but I think she'll still stick to her story, which is, I did it, but I didn't know that the boyfriend was going to put it out there. I think she should, being that whatever the story is, she should tell it. I mean, I think it would be so juicy if she just told it. And if she said, and I don't know if this is true or not, if she just said, yeah, I didn't think it was bad. And I was like, I don't know. Well, I don't think she'll ever admit it at all.
No. But
and I still think it could have been that she didn't know. But what was so weird is that the guy that put that out there, Rick Solomon, then Pamela Anderson married him twice.
I know. I saw that in the documentary. I was like, wait a minute. What? Yeah. Very strange.
I feel the only way she could have married him is if he told her we were in on it together. How could she have married somebody that basically did to Paris what whoever stole this video of her and Tommy did to her? How could she ever marry someone like, what's your one word?
Dickmatized.
You really think? I don't know. But I mean, when people say she's so, I just thought of that. When people say like Pamela Anderson is so great and stuff, I don't think that needs to be explained. How you could fall in love and marry someone if, in fact, the story is he filmed it and distributed it.
Yeah, what's his side of the story to get you to be like, okay, let's do this twice.
Yeah.
But
and how does Paris feel about him? I hope she covers all of that.
Hopefully.
Because the side of Kathy Hilton is like, it was horrible. We were horrified, that this happened, that this was out there and everything. They didn't, they never anticipated that it would make her a bigger star. Because the Pamela Anderson thing was like, a decade before.
Or do we get the video of the surrogate giving birth to Paris's baby? We package it on a VHS and call it "Welcome to Phoenix."
Because it was a night in Paris, right? Clever.
Welcome to Phoenix. That's the new tape.
Justin,
yes.
Tell everybody where they can see and experience your clever form of comedy.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I will be performing in New York City March 22nd. So if you were in the tri-state area and you have been like, come to the East Coast, get on a train, get on a plane, come see me at the Bell House Theater March 22nd in Brooklyn. Also, you can catch me on television. I'll be on the Sherry Shepherd Show. I believe it's March 14th or the week of March 13th or something like that. But yeah, follow me on Instagram at Justin Martindale for all the details. And yes, come see me at the Bell House, New York City.
Love it.